Welcome to the podcast that passes poor performance on pop culture. I'm one of your hosts, Darren Duncan, alongside with my best friend, Audie Marsh. We're just a couple of cool cats casually causing some chaos with conversation. We're here to entertain you, not hurt your feelings, so don't blame us.
You know what that is?
Isn't that that's South Park, right? With the little gnomes?
Yeah, time to go to work. They're fucking stealing underwear and shit.
Yeah, they're like taking like shit out of the room.
Yeah, fucking hilarious.
South Park. That's
So
crazy.
what's great about this episode is every episode I give you shit because you're always like, oh, it's been the longest week ever at work. Now you could finally bitch about work for real.
Yeah, on a platform.
Yeah, fuck first and worst jobs. That's not all we're gonna talk about. We just call it that because it's got a nice ring to it, first and worst. But we'll talk about fantasy jobs and jobs that we think might fucking, suck, like artificial inseminating animals with, manually fucking for. You know what I'm saying? Manually artificial. What is it? Manually
Serenading?
No. It's like it's artificially inseminating.
Inseminating.
No, it's manually inseminating animals for artificial. No wait, manually masturbating animals for artificial insemination. That's
it. Yeah, that job.
Jesus Christ! Let me say it one more time.
Say it again.
Manually masturbating animals for artificial insemination. That's what I was trying to fucking say.
Yeah.
I fucked it all up. I've been working on that too, man. I was practicing it and everything.
I know. Before the episode, you were like, all right.
Manually masturbating animals for artificial insemination. My mom was over here and she's like, what?
Yeah, I'm trying to, with this thing, I get comments on my side and I'm like, damn it, I have to go back and read. People are like, hey, what's up? I said, hey, motherfucker, and you didn't say anything. I'm like, dude, I didn't fucking see it.
What I do is I just bring up mine, and then I turn the volume all the way down. I set my phone down, and then if I see something, we can call them out.
Yeah, I've got my shit here, so hopefully, I don't know if I miss a comment or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so with this episode, like I'm probably gonna blow your mind with what I bring to the table on just numbers in general. I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to ruin the surprise for you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing big, but I feel like
how many animals you've manually masturbated for artificial insemination
for free?
Is that, oh shit!
No. What's the dudes that stick the hands up the cows' asses and shit? Isn't that a job?
I'm pretty sure that's a cowboy job.
A ranch handler, like they have to reach in and like turn their stomachs because the cow's got like two stomachs. So like when a cow stomach turns, they gotta like reach in there and like.
Well, they gotta pull the fucking babies out too if they get stuck and shit. Like they gotta fucking pull out the baby calves and all that.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be really a bad job. It's the inseminating and squirting like cow jizz and another female cow. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, like who's jerking it off? It's funny today. It's a corny joke, but it made me laugh like a motherfucker. They're trying. My family's trying to figure out what they want for dinner and shit, and I'm like, well, we got hamburger helper, and Dora's like, well, what kind do we got? And I'm like, stroganoff, and she's like, I like stroganoff. I'm like, I like stroganoff too. Motherfucker.
We had shit on a shingle tonight.
Hell yeah, man.
I love shit on a shingle.
Fucking ain't right.
So good.
So, what was your first job ever?
My first job ever. I graduated high school when I was 19 because I got held back in like the first grade. So I was 19 when I graduated. My first job ever was an auto parts store, and it was ran by mom and pops. So it wasn't like your big franchises and stuff like that. So like, it was like the best, worst thing ever I'm not talking shit about him. He passed away with cancer, but now that I'm older, and Lawrence Cloud, he was my first boss. Now that I'm older and I see what he is trying to do, he has molded me what I am in the workforce today, believe it or not. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like, he set the standard because he was very hard to work for. But I worked in an auto parts store, and I mean, it was, dealing with the locals and some of the conversations, like some people would come in and was like, yeah, I knew your grandpa and your real daddy and, all these other people. I was like, I had no idea who these people were, but we built a rapport. And hell, these people were telling me more about my family than what I knew, because it was such a small town. But
right.
I remember my first paycheck. I made $7.45 an hour. And
How old were you, dude?
I was 19.
Oh, okay.
19 in 2003. My first job was in 2003.
Okay, because I was gonna say my first fucking job, minimum wage was $5.25. So you were either making good fucking money or you waited a while to get your first job.
My first job being after I graduated, because my real father had passed away, and I got like Social Security. I got like $300 a month.
Okay.
And through high school, dude, I was making more than what people were flipping burgers.
Right.
Like $300 a month. I was like, I'm not gonna go work at McDonald's or something. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, $300 a month for a 16, 17, 18. That was a lot of money.
See,
dude.
I got Social Security checks as a kid too, but my mom and dad kept that shit because they used it to take care of me. That's what bought my clothes and fucking shit like that.
Well,
they didn't just give it to me.
Yeah. Well, when I got my first truck, was a 94 Toyota pickup. I paid my monthly payment, and I think it was like $200, and the rest was mine for gas or whatever. But back then, gas was like 98 cents a gallon, dude. Like,
yeah, no shit.
When I was in high school, so.
All right, so how long did you do that for?
I did that for, say, 2003 till 2005. I got hired in 2003, 2005. My second job ever.
I'm assuming you don't have any like crazy stories about working at the auto body shop, right?
No, it was pretty much
body shop. It was
it was pretty much cut and dry, man. That first job, it was just one of those,
right. Ryan actually took a joke right out of my fucking mouth. I was gonna say, because you said you worked at a mom and pop shop, and if it was like one of the franchises, like O'Reilly's or something, you walk in there for an air freshener, and they're like, "What make and model?" It's like, motherfucker, I'm just looking for some black ice. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude. Ryan says you're a muffler fluffer.
Is he talking shit?
He's talking shit. So okay. What was your second job then?
My second job,
yeah,
I worked for a pest control company.
Oh, shit, that explains a lot. Breathing in all those chemicals and cases. That's why you're all fucked up.
So with that, I wasn't the pest control guy that walked around your house and sprayed your home. I was the termite guy. And that was way worse than the guy walking in air conditioning houses. I was in crawl spaces and attics and to do like a termite treatment on a blocked home where I had crawl space was like a foot. You had to crawl in there and dig around each pillar and put the chemical.
Yeah, I worked my first day. I probably worked till first break,
dude.
Even not tell anybody.
It was I worked hard for my money on that one.
Have you ever done that before? Like just walked off a job? Like I don't want to change subject, but you know how my brain is, and I'll forget to tell this story if I don't tell it now. I worked at Weber Grill, and it was like an assembly line for fucking grills, and I fucking hated it. They lied to me about how much I was gonna make, and it was real far away. and I was there for like a fucking week, dude. And the boss comes up to me right at the beginning. He's like, "Hey, we're working till 2 a.m. tonight." And in my head, I'm like, y'all motherfuckers might be, but I'm fucking not. So I fucking worked till first break. We all went into the break room, sat down, ate, and then I just kind of lollygagged around while everyone was going back to work. And I fucking dipped, dude. I ain't never went back to that bitch. I was out that motherfucker. I left my homeboy and everything who would catch a ride with me and shit. I'm like, sorry, Holmes. And what's funny, Dora was fucking pissed, dude, because I quit the job. But on my way home, it's crazy. I drove to that job every fucking day for like a week or two. Same roads, fucking seen the same signs every day. And like for some reason on the way home, there was this new sign, big billboard I never saw before. And it said, sometimes it's just best to quit. And it was an anti-smoking ad. And I'm like, there's my fucking sign. Literally. You know what I mean? It's fucked up, dude. But go ahead.
So I'm gonna blow your mind with what I'm about to say, because like when we get to your part of it, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be way ahead of me just from what you just told me. But I've only had 3 jobs my whole fucking life.
Damn, for reals?
Yeah, dude. Just 3
Holy
fucking jobs.
Shit.
So I've never quit a job. I left a job to go to something better, but I never had the opportunity to be like, fuck you, you're cool, and fuck you, I'm out. I've always wanted to do that, but you know, I've never. I don't think I've ever done
that, but I've definitely got fired on purpose. Like, dude, I no-showed for like a fucking year at Lowe's Distribution. And like my boss was just like super fucking cool and he wouldn't tell on me. And then eventually like all the people I worked with got sick of me never coming into fucking work, you know, because they'd have to pick up my slack and shit. And I think they all kind of came together and ratted on me to HR. And then I finally got fucking fired. And I was like, dude, I've been waiting a fucking year for this shit because I'm not going to quit. I'm trying to get unemployment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this place, dude. I did some fucked up shit when I worked there, man. I was a forklift operator and I drove forks right through a whole fucking semi-truck wall, dude. So many fucking times on accident, most of the time, but sometimes I was like, fuck this shit, dude. I break toilets and shit on accident, man. I was a fucking maniac back then. I hated that motherfucking job, dude.
I kind of want to retire and go work at Lowe's as a forklift driver.
Dude, I saw a man die there, man.
Oh, fuck that.
I wasn't there very long at all. And this older black dude, he came up to me and he's like, because Sunday was like our Friday. We worked weekend shift. Every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 hours. And so Sunday was like, fuck yeah, it's our last fucking day. And he come up to me right in the morning. He's like, it's fucking Sunday, man. And we fist bumped and he walked away. And I heard code blue. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I go find my my fucking trainer guy, the guy that was training me, to ask him what code blue meant. And that dude was laying on the fucking floor dead. He had a heart attack. I was like, I was the last person to talk to this fucking dude. He fist bumped me, turned around, walked away, and fucking died on his feet. It was fucked up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Another dude died there. He got his fucking arm cut off and bled out because we had LRTs, like scanners. We had to scan everything that we loaded onto a fucking truck.
Yeah.
This dude reached over the fucking forklift to scan something that was on the forks. And he pressed the fucking button that lifted the forklift up and it chopped his fucking arm off, dude.
That's crazy.
A maintenance man got electrocuted to death there one time too. But yeah, that fucking place, dude, I was like, fuck this shit. I tried to get fired for a motherfucking year. And they finally fucking fired my ass.
But working at this pest control company was amazing, dude. Like, I was like my own boss. The secretary would give me jobs. I moved up to home inspections. I would do like wood destroying organism inspections for like bank loans. So like people would have to have a termite inspection before the bank would loan them this money.
Okay.
They sent me to the school to be a home inspector. So I started, working my way up. And I could tell you, you ever watch those pornos where like the desperate like wife is like, oh, the poo boy is here.
You mean like every porno ever made?
Yeah. But I'm trying to paint a picture.
If you ever watched porn, that's all you had to fucking say, man.
But the one with the bad acting, and
every porn ever made.
It's like, oh, the electrician.
I'm sorry that fucking Martin Scorsese doesn't direct porn, you know?
Yeah.
The Coen brothers don't write for fucking...
They should.
Yeah, they probably should.
But I had a couple of scenarios like that. Now, I never engaged because I was just like, whoa, like I'm doing good in my job. I'm like, this is a trap. That's what came to my mind. I was like, this is a fucking trap. But like some of the women, 9 times out of 10, it was like ones that were in a divorce. They got the house. Now they're selling the house. It's one of those, you know. And here's a young strapping 20-year-old, 21-year-old Audie, like, you know, I had the mustache, dude. Like I grew a fucking thick. I had the sideburns. Dude, I was straight up Jim Morrison. I had them bitches like down. I had to find you a picture.
Hilarious.
And yeah, dude, it was like like I went into one, I did the inside, and I'm going on the outside, and like this desperate housewife going through a divorce, she was like following me everywhere. She's like, you look a little hot, you need to come in.
She was trying to fuck
dude,
you. She must have been
it was like just some of the interaction. Like I handed her my card when I left. She was like, thank you, you know, and she wanted my number, and like she wanted to go out for drinks. Like it happened on so many occasions. Like I'm just like, this is the company fucking gonna get me. Like that's what I thought, you know. Knowing what I know now, being that young, I was like, man, I should have fucking did it.
Every single one of them.
You know, I should have took the offer, but
right. Yeah,
that's really the craziest. The craziest shit with that job was everybody thinks crawl spaces. They think of snakes. They're like, oh, fucking snakes under houses. I'd be
more worried about like I would hate the spiders and all the cobwebs.
I didn't mind the spiders, dude. Spiders didn't bother me. It was the fucking snakes. And every time I'd go under there, I'd have the chemical wand with me if I had to treat it. And like anything that moved, I was shooting it in the face. But where I found the most snakes was in the attics.
Really? That's fucking weird. What state was this in? Florida?
Florida, dude. Like this will blow your mind.
There are some arboreal snakes in Florida. Then.
Yeah, man. Florida has all kinds of fucking shit, but that's where all the snakes were. Like everybody thinks, oh, I got to put mothballs around my house. No, you need to go check your attic because them motherfuckers will climb up the side of the house and into the truss that comes and that little fucking. And that's where they sit because I go all the way at the end of the truss to look for termites, and boom, there's a fucking snake just like, what's up? You know, and I'm just like, I gotta go, man. This, I didn't have no chemical or anything. It was just me and a flashlight. I was like, no, I ain't playing this shit. But the snakes was the really dangerous part of that job, other than being surrounded by chemical all day. But
yeah,
you just kind of get used to that shit.
Man, I can't believe you've only had 3 jobs in your whole life. So then, right after that was the Army, huh?
Yep. Right after that, I joined the best goddamn job ever.
That's fucking hilarious.
Now, I can tell you, in the Army, I've had fucking multiple jobs. You know, like,
right?
Yeah, it's hey, you're an MP, but you're gonna do what this MOS does. You're gonna do that MOS. You're gonna do this. Oh, and on top of that, you're gonna do your other MP jobs. But my third job ever, 2008, March 2008, I joined the U.S. Army. The best, greatest, worst decision ever.
Right.
I only say worst because of the sacrifices. Like when people say you sacrifice so much, and when I sit back and I think, I'm like, yeah, I missed this uncle dying. I missed this cousin dying. I missed this friend dying. I didn't go home for Christmas. I didn't go home for Thanksgiving. Oh, I missed the childbirth. You know, so
right.
Everybody's like, you sacrifice so much. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, no, I don't. But then you sit back and you're like, oh shit. Like where'd the last 15 years of my life go? You know, like, you know, that's what it means by the sacrifice. And it took me a while to fucking realize that. I'm like, I'm not dead. You know, I didn't sacrifice shit. And then I'm like, oh wait, I missed my sister's birthday. Oh shit! Yeah, that's where the sacrifice is. But,
Yeah, totally. I totally get
Yeah.
that. 100%, man.
yeah, it's I can't wait for the next 5 years.
I definitely want to get into some stories because I know you got a fuck ton of funny stories about being an MP and being in the army, but
Oh, absolutely.
I figured we'd touch on a couple of jobs I had, I guess, since we asked you or whatever. But yeah, my first job I was a fucking vacuumer at like a ultimate car wash. Like
Yeah.
where you pull in, it's like a full service fucking gas station. Dude, I stole so much fucking weed from that place. Because it's like a car would come in and they'd have a fucking bag of weed like in their ashtray or center console or whatever, or like a bowl or something. It's like, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna walk into the store and be like, one of your workers stole my pot? You know, fuck no, they're not gonna do that. So I fucking steal weed all the time. Dude, I probably had more weed when I worked at a fucking car wash than I did when I used to sell the shit. It's like, it was fucking nuts. I'd take packs of cigarettes and shit. And motherfucker have a carton of smokes in the back seat or whatever. I just fucking grab a fucking pack of smokes. I'm not a thief because thieves are pieces of shit. But I was like fucking 15, you know. I was a fucking 15-year-old kid. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking be mad at me, you know. But dude, I got fired and hired at that motherfucker like 3 times, dude, throughout my whole life because that was like the place to go to. Like they'd hire fucking anybody. Everybody that worked there was illegal. I almost got in so many fucking fights with like immigrants and shit because I couldn't fucking understand them, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a fucking dickhead, but there was a language barrier and we'd argue, you know what I mean? And you know me, you're the same way. I'm the type of motherfucker. I'm not gonna argue with a fucking man. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
if you're not mad enough to fucking bare knuckle box, then you're not mad. You know what I mean? But yeah, fuck that place too, man. And I know I showed it to you when you were here. We were
Yeah, you
driving
did.
down the road, and I'm like, that was my
Yeah.
first fucking job ever. And I bet I fucking told you the same shit I just said on this fucking episode.
You
And then,
did. I was just
yeah,
letting you go.
and then dude, I didn't work for a long ass time, but then when I got kicked out of school and I had to go to fucking alternative school and shit, they made you get a job to prepare you for the real world. And I worked at this grocery store in Belvedere, and that place was the shit because I was basically my own boss, dude. I worked in produce. Me and my homeboys would fucking smoke one hitters in the produce cooler and shit. We'd go to the dairy department and grab all the cans of whipped cream and do fucking whippets and get fucking stoned. Like, you ever done whippets, like aerosol cans, where it's like,
Yeah.
wah, wah, wah. We would fucking
Yeah.
do that shit all day, put it back on the shelf. You know how many motherfuckers would come back and be like, I bought this goddamn Cool Whip and it don't fucking work and shit, because we're out there fucking ripping all of them up, dude.
So you were like the 2 kids from Waiting. What was that?
Damn, I didn't
Andy
even think of
Milonakis.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think of
Yeah.
that. There is a scene, yeah, when they're
Yeah.
fucking doing whippets in the cooler. Yeah.
J Dog and some other
Yup.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, me and my homeboys did that shit way before that movie came out, man. That's
Yeah,
fucking
well,
hilarious.
Being around the beach in Florida, you know, the head shops had the whippet cans and all that shit. And
Oh yeah.
obviously I tried it, you know, it was like, whatever. It was
No,
one of
that's
those things.
stupid. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it just gave me a fucking headache.
exactly one, 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 one.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
it's ridiculous. And then I worked for a conservation district. That was the shit. It was a government job. I was making like $8.50 an hour, which was really fucking good at the time. And I wasn't even 18 years old yet. I just fucking weed whacked all day long, man. They dropped me off at different fucking conservation district parks. And speaking of snakes, dude, I killed literally hundreds of snakes every single day with the weed whacker on
Good.
accident. On
Good.
accident. Because I'm weed whacking all the rocks and all the shit. And they would just be chilling under there. And like the weed whacker was like this big bad Kawasaki motherfucker. And it didn't have like a cover on the muffler. So it just burnt the shit out of me constantly. I got like the perfect fucking triangle square scar on my forearm from that fucking muffler burning me. But anyway, this thing would just rip snakes in half, dude. And like pieces of them would just boom, fucking fly. And there was this one time where it split the snake from fucking tail to head all the way down its side. And that thing fucking busted open like a goddamn hot dog bun, dude. It was fucking crazy. You could see the whole inside of this fucking snake. It was so awesome.
Damn.
It was
still like
badass.
moving and shit. Was it like squirming?
Oh, that
and shit?
motherfucker was dead. Like it fucking.
Dead?
It was done. Yeah, but there was like no fucking blood or anything because it's a fucking cold-blooded animal, you know.
Yeah.
But we would do prairie burns, like because if you set the fucking grass on fire and shit, it grows back a lot stronger. So we would get like drip torches, and the fire department would come down and make sure that we fucking did it right and everything, and nothing got crazy. And a lot of times they'd invite the whole town. Like Belvedere, they'd be like, "Hey, we're gonna do a prairie burn. Come down and watch it." And it was fucked up, dude, because we're setting this prairie on fire, and all these families are there with their kids to watch it. And sometimes there's like pregnant animals with dens in these fucking fields, and there's nowhere to go because like there's this giant prairie, and you got 4 motherfuckers, one on each side, walking with a drip torch. And this one time there was this fucking skunk. And it had all these babies around it, and the fire just got closer and closer and closer, and all these families were like, "Oh my god, save the skunk!" And we're like, "The fucking field's on fire!
Fuck them skunks, man! You ain't gonna make it."
What do you want me to fucking do about it? You know, and like, dude, there's so many. It was crazy because it was a goddamn conservation district, but like they killed animals.
So it's like
killing snakes, killing baby fucking skunks and shit.
So it's like straight up real life Firm Gully shit.
Yeah, it was fucked up. They one time there was this fucking someone reported a dead deer on the road, and they asked us to come get it because it was a pregnant fucking deer. And we brought the deer back and cut it open and took the fetus out, and like we put it in like a fucking fish tank kind of.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't like a fish tank, but it kind of looked like a fish bowl.
Right.
And with like formaldehyde and shit, and like we had it on display, so like when fucking the kids would come to the conservation district to learn about Native Americans and shit on field trips, we'd have like there was like this taxidermy room, and there was like this fucking fish bowl with a fucking fetus deer in it and shit that we fucking cut that motherfucker out. But
speaking of deers, I'm gonna
oh, that fucking Nathan Schoensiegel, he says deers don't swim. There was this one time there was fucking I was riding around picking up garbage, and this little girl came running up to me on the golf cart, and she's like, "There's like a goose drowning or whatever." And I'm like, "What?" Like
a goose?
It's like, "You got to save this fucking goose." And I'm like, "God, that's way above my pay grade," you know. So anyway, I go down there, and I'm like, sure as shit, this fucking goose, it was like caught in a bunch of fish net, and it was like fucking drowning, dude. And I hopped on the golf cart, and I fucking ran back to the maintenance shop and told them, and they're like, "Well, you could put on waders and go get it if you want. Otherwise, let it fucking drown." So I put on waders, and I walked out there, and I fucking saved this goose, dude. It was trying to bite my ass, man.
Yeah, dude, those are fucking vicious, man.
Dude, it was nuts. It didn't know what I was fucking trying to do, but it couldn't bite me because it was so wrapped up. But I'm just clipping all this fucking fishing wire that was wrapped around it. And then as soon as it got like free, it just boom, it fucking took off, you know.
Yeah,
but
dude.
It was pretty cool, man. I got to fucking get so high at that job because they'd give me like a 6-wheeled golf cart, and they're like, "Go pick up garbage." I'm like, okay, for fucking 8 hours, just drive around this giant conservation park and just get stoned and pick up fucking garbage. Like, okay. It was fucking amazing. Yeah, it was the shit, dude. I don't know about and I'm sure other jobs will come to me that I've had, but yeah, if the listeners here that are watching live, if they got any funny stories, please pitch in.
Yeah, enlighten us. My good friend, he's a brother to me. We went to basic training together, AIT together. We were stationed together. We were in the same truck in Iraq together. He's on the chat.
Is that Kyle Dixon?
Yeah.
What up,
he's got stories that would probably send me to fucking prison.
Nice. Those are the ones we want to hear.
Not really, but
just change. What's that show where they're like, the names have been changed to
yeah, and like the deep voice.
It's like the intro to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's all just to like protect fucking rape victims and shit.
So with
SBU, whatever.
Let me
I probably shouldn't say that word live on the internet so we don't get in trouble.
Let me see if I can pull something up. You're talking about deers and shit.
Kyle says he almost shot himself in the foot. I have a story I could tell real quick when I did construction, and it was like my first day. I did not have steel toe boots yet. And this guy was like, "Oh, you got to get fucking steel toe boots, man." And I'm like, "All right, I'll get them. It's my first fucking day. Let me get my first check and I'll buy some fucking steel toe boots." And he's like, this is, he just wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. He's like, "This is why you need steel toe boots." And he grabbed this fucking nail gun, put it to his boot, shot a nail, and it went through his fucking steel toe boot and into his fucking foot.
Wow.
Because he thought the fucking nail was going to bounce off of his fucking steel toe, but it went right through and stabbed him in the toe. Chris Johnson knows that I'm live doing a podcast. What the fuck are you calling me for?
So, and some of the Kyle is nipping at the butt. So what he's talking about, him almost blowing his fucking foot off. So in the Army, negligent discharge will get you fucking hammered, if not kicked out of the Army. Almost.
What discharge?
So a negligent, so like if I have a loaded weapon and and I pull the trigger and it goes off and we're
negligent discharge.
Negligent. So like if something, So, it's like the big no-no in the Army, like holy shit.
Do they make you like keep track of your bullets and shit like they do with police officers? Like if you fire your gun, you gotta go and probably not therapy and shit like they do police officers.
Not in Iraq. We didn't have to keep really much of a count.
Right.
But on the road, police officers, even civilian, some civilian police officers know they fucking expend rounds, but military police,
these bullets don't come out of your check. You're like, use as many as you want on these motherfuckers.
As the MP, you're accounted for that fucking round. Like it's big. You lose it, it's a big no-no. So we just got off. I think we just got off mission. We're going back into refit. Now, mind you, Dixon and I are. I think he was dismount that day. I think I was dismount. Yeah, because I was in the back of the truck. So we get out. We get out of the clearing barrel. What a clearing barrel is you point your weapon into the clearing barrel and unload it. So if this discharge goes off, that's your alibi. It's like, I was clearing it. It went off. It's a little bit easier than just putting the weapon down next to your toe and then clearing it like what Dixon did. So I'm in the back of the truck. Dixon's fucking dragging his ass. I'm right at the back where the two little mini windows are. And I'm looking out the back and all the head shed, like team leaders, sergeants and shit. One's in the front. The other one's all on the radio. I see him ride the fucking thing forward, and it was like a slow-mo car crash on the saw. A saw is basically a crew serve weapon. It's automatic. It's a bad motherfucker. So he rides the fucking thing forward, and you ain't supposed to do that. And when he rode it forward, boom! And I seen the fucking dirt go like this far from his fucking toe, and I was like I immediately got up and like put my whole body over the window, and I was out the window. I was like, "What the fuck?" And the radios are going off. Like, was that a shot? And I was like, "No, man, there wasn't no shot. Dixon's right there." And where's Dixon? I was like, "Oh, he's right here at the door." So, needless to say, I had to cover his ass, like always. Because that would have fucked him up had they have found out. Because me covering for him, and I'm not saying I was the hero, but I did bullshit a lot and got him out of that. But it was so close, and I think if it was any much closer, it would have blew his whole fucking toe off, and he probably would have been sent home and all that shit, and then made my life living hell. So it worked out for both of us. That story will probably always be, I will always tell that story just for the simple fact, because I wish you were there to see our faces and how white we were, and like everything running through my head, like, okay, how am I going to fucking bullshit this? You know what I mean? That was the first, it's like, right. I'm lying. Like, I'm going to lie about this. It's like, in my head, I was thinking, how the fuck am I going to cover up a fucking 249 sound? Right. A fucking gun goes off. Like, no, we're good. He shut the door. It was the door slamming. But that was the worst job ever. Well, the best worst time ever was probably when I was deployed to Iraq, just for the simple fact that, again, you're sacrificing so much. Everything's going back home, and there's like not a fucking thing you can do.
Didn't you guys pull a prank on somebody and tell him that he cut his dick or something, and he was
So our team leader, Sergeant Malden, we lived in like these metal like fucking connexes. We called them like chews. And he was like the next one over, and we had the shittiest fucking wired internet. So when we were on the COP or whatever fob, we'd get to use what little bit of internet we had. But for some reason, the internet was so good going to chew. But if you try to like call somebody or dial out to go home, it was like you ain't getting through to shit. So it was super fast with sending messages. So Dixon and I, we were fucking bored like always, and we always fucked with Sergeant Malden. We're like, man, what can we do tonight to get this motherfucker going? So I'm sitting there, I was like, all right, so we're gonna message him. You're gonna say, because we carried fucking everything for the squad. We had the sniper rifle, we had the first aid bag, we had commo. We were the commo of the fucking squad. Like, our truck was the bitch of the fuck. Because Dixon and I, we knew our shit, and everybody came to us. They're like, oh, Marsh and Dixon will fix it. I was like, you motherfuckers. So we had the first aid bags, which had EpiPens. I'm surprised we never fucking did those. EpiPens, the Quick Claw, everything to sustain you when you get fucked up. IV fucking needles. So I was like, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to say that you tried to stick an IV in my dick and we can't get it to stop bleeding. And you're going to message Malden and be like, yo, there's blood everywhere. Marsh is turning, pale. He can't, like, there's blood gushing out. And then when he asked, he's telling me it was in my dick. And we played it out. And he's like, what? He did. So he's sending the message. He's like, what did Marsh do? And he's like, Sir Malden, we thought it would be funny to put an IV catheter in the big vein and Marsh's dick, and we can't get it to stop bleeding. So I was like, all right. And then we heard nothing. It was complete silence. And we're like, fuck. And then we hear rocks. You could hear someone run in the distance. And I was like, all right, Dixon, get ready. So Dixon gets up on like these two tables in this little ass fucking hut, pulls his pants all the way down, tucks his shit. It's called the goat. Again, referencing waiting.
Right.
Pulls his shit, puts it between him, and puts it right there at the fucking door. And Malden rushes in. He's like, I gotta stop the bleeding. He rushes in, and there's this fucking dick, balls, and ass, like, right there. The epic time, like, Malden's face when Dixon showed him his butthole and balls and dick, man, it was the fucking greatest. Like, I think we tried to record it because I had this little shitty camera, but I was laughing so fucking hard. I was still laughing at the fact this dude come running and thinking I was going to put a fucking catheter through my dick. Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, moments like that when I tell these stories, man, I wish everybody listening was there. It's one of those, like, this is the shit. Like, Jackass and all CKY don't touch some of the shit that we were doing over there. Like, I'm telling you, some of the shit was just wild. I almost got paid, I think, $100. I tried to get this wild cow in the back of our truck. They said if I could do it, I'd get. So Dixon and I, we get out the back of the truck, and like this fucking cow, it's the biggest, most malnourished fucking cow, growls at me. And I'm like, I've never had a fucking cow. And I was like, nope.
Do that?
Dude, I was like, fuck this. I am not touching this cow. Like, I got back in the truck. I lost my $100. I was like, fucking nope. But I remember approaching it. Dixon's a big boy. If you was to take a fight, Dixon would probably take 5 motherfuckers on. That's how big Dixon was. And even Dixon was like, no, back to the truck we go. And I'm like, little me, I was thinking I was 160 pounds in 2010. So I'm like, and I'm calling Dixon. I was like, come on, pussy, get that cow. I'm the one in the truck. I was like, get that cow, you pussy, But yeah, dude, this fucking, man, the cow was huge and he fucking growled at us. I was like, I ain't fucking with these cows. Yeah, dude. I wanted that $100 too, but
Did you guys have camel spiders over there? Or was that mostly
yeah,
Afghanistan?
they were over there, but there wasn't like as predominant as what the internet makes it.
And they
Maybe the
exaggerate
area.
them. They're not as
Yeah.
big as because I've seen pictures where they're holding them up and it's like they're not.
Yeah,
that
that's a
man.
fake photo.
Right.
Yeah, the ones that I encountered were, but they do get pretty big. But the ones I saw,
Right.
Mostly what we saw over there, a lot of was like turkeys and fucking guineas, like weird animals you wouldn't think were in Iraq. But the story is that's Saddam's wild shit when his palace fell, because he had like crazy fucking animals and shit, dude.
Oh, I bet he had all kinds of shit.
And when his palace fucking fell, all these goddamn animals and shit, like turkeys and.
You guys were one of the first ones over there, right? Like to take over the palace and shit. Like I've seen pictures of you in front of the palace and shit. I think.
Well, we didn't. That was somewhere around. They found and got his ass. I think 2003 or something. So we were well over that. We went to a couple of his little palaces and bunkers, and we saw the ruins. Kyle, if you're on here, was it Alexander the Great's ruins? Somebody's ruins was over there, and it was like, you'll never see this again. I can't remember whose it was. You couldn't even get up there, like it was guarded. And
damn, that's really cool. That's
but it was really cool to see, dude. You're like, wow, like this is crazy. So it was Alexander the Great's ruins or some shit.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, it's some of the shit, and what sucks is I lost a lot of good footage and photos because the fucking hard drive I had took a big shit, and I lost a lot of good shit.
That's fucking whack.
But yeah, it's definitely a good time. And speaking of, since I got you on the topic of the deers, and this is what I had to do. I'll tell you a quick story real quick. Are you down? You got anything you want to say real quick? Because
no, dude, I was just going to ask more questions. Is all. Go ahead, take it.
So, I was at Fort Benning when I came across this. I got called out to a deer stuck in a tree, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "A deer in the tree." I didn't believe it, so some workers called this in, and sure enough, shit, I get out there, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a fucking deer in a tree.
And it was alive? It looks, is that a baby?
Yeah, it was a doe. Yeah, it was alive, dude.
A young doe, okay.
So my good buddy of mine, Bracy, which was a DA police officer.
Which one of y'all fucked that deer?
Neither one of us, because it looked like something was already fucking this deer.
Oh, wow.
So I got on the other side. Bracy and I were like, all right, I'll pull this side of the limb, you pull that side. So I got down right here where I'm standing, and I was like, Bracy, there's no pulling trees, dude. This deer's done. So he came around the other side and he saw the wound and he was like, what the fuck? And I'm like,
can you sue women on that, dude?
I don't know. Let me see.
So was this thing running and got stuck between two trees?
So it did.
Holy fucking shit. Look at that thing.
Yeah. So this happened not because of the tree and the deer hitting the tree. So over here, I didn't get a picture of it, but like you could see it was a struggle and there was paw prints. And we think it was like coyotes or wolves
or that motherfucker.
Bobcat, like eating it alive. But yeah, that's what I got called to. And I was like, I've never in my life, like a deer in the fucking tree. But she was still alive, dude. Like it was sad too, man. I was like, man. Yeah, I was like, man, I don't want this thing to die, man. You know, I was hoping just to pull these trees apart and the fucker would run off, but I got around to the other side.
This is the second time Nathan Schoensiegel has said something about deer swimming. Now, he said, I'm pretty sure he's quoting you, Audie. He's like, I swear to God, deer, if you don't swim, then I'm going to have to fuck you. But I don't know. This guy's fucking crazy. But anyway, so... Dude, most deer get hit by cars, right?
Yeah.
I actually did hit a deer in a fucking boat. I swear on everything I love, I swear on everything I have ever loved. And I will tell you the story. It was a dead deer, but I didn't take you to the Newberg house when you were visiting, did I? The house with the lake behind it and the house I grew up in and all that. My brother lives there now. I don't think I took you out there. Well, anyway, there's a lake behind the fucking house. And I used to get on this little shitty aluminum boat and go out there and row and fucking smoke weed and shit. Well, there was this fucking this goddamn like island thing where it like the fucking lake would fork and you can go left or right. And the first time ever going down there, I went right. And it just started stinking really bad. And I'm like, it's got to be like the mud. I bet I'm stirring up the mud with my oar and it fucking stinks.
Yeah.
Well, my aluminum boat went boom and it just fucking stopped. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm trying to row and I couldn't row. And I'm like, I got to be fucking stuck on a rock or something. So I start backing up and it was a goddamn deer carcass floating in the fucking water, dude. And right next to me was this giant fucking hill. And at the top of that hill was a really busy road. And my dad said that it must have got hit by a car and ran down the hill and died in the water, or it rolled down the hill, because I've seen deer. I seen a dog one time. I seen a dog get fucking hit by a goddamn car and run a block and a half and then drop dead.
Yeah, like adrenaline and shit.
Yeah, this fucking dog. It was like a Doberman Pinscher. It went underneath both tires of this car. And it got up and ran down the fucking sidewalk, and its back legs were like flopping like ways it shouldn't flop. Like its legs were broken, but it was still running on these motherfuckers. And I'm trying to chase this goddamn dog down in my truck, and I lost it. I'm like, where the fuck did that? Because it took a turn, and I'm like, what the fuck? I parked my truck, and I'm like walking around, like trying to find this dog, and it was like almost right next to me. But I didn't see it because I'm looking for it to run, you know? And then I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, fuck this, whatever. I decided to start walking away. And as I did, it was boom, just a few feet next to me on the sidewalk, dead. And I'm like, what the fuck? That thing ran like a block and a half. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt your story or nothing.
No, you're good.
Tell that story about fucking hitting a goddamn deer in a boat, because I don't know anybody who's ever hit a fucking deer in a boat.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that. But so with me, as an MP doing law enforcement duty, I was always attracted to the calls I would get is a lot of them would be like animal rescue and stupid shit and fires. For some reason, fires followed me. When I was on shift, there's a fucking fire. So I got called to
the first episode ever, audience, where you hear about Audie March lighting the goddamn mayor's yard on fire. Episode 1 of Don't Blame Us podcast.
Don't Blame Us, yeah. So I got called to another animal. I got called to this one. Let me bring it up here.
Oh, what's up with this deer? That I totally fucked that up. Like,
did y'all fuck
that deer or what?
Well, I mean, we ended up shooting it in the head. The workers actually came over that called it in, and were like, "Can we have this deer?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, we don't have the shit."
Venison. It's like, y'all want vagina or venison?
So
what fucking is it Devil's Rejects when they stopped to buy chickens and the guy's like, y'all don't plan on fucking these chickens, are you?
Yeah. Now I don't. Yeah. Y'all don't plan on fucking these chickens because I know a thing or two about fucking chickens.
Right. That's you. That's you and your fucking buddy. And they're like, can we have this deer? And they're like, no. Like, I shot this deer. If anyone's going to fuck this deer, it's going to be me.
I mean, it was sad too because I'm not the one that shot it. The supervisor came out and was like, yeah, because it was in housing and he had to put a silencer on his fucking 9mm and put it up to
it's in a residential area.
Yeah. Luckily the workers took it, it was harvest or whatever. So she had a purpose in a sense. That's what I give it. She had a purpose. So it fed whoever, but shitty way to go out, man. You running, fucking slide through a deer, and then you just get fucking gangbanged by a bunch of coyotes.
It's so weird. You'd think that it would be more fucked up. Because if that thing stuck, why would the coyotes just stop eating this motherfucker?
I don't know. But
it makes me wonder if they were chasing it. That's why it was running in the first place, got stuck. But then you think them coyotes would have finished the job.
Would have killed her. Yeah, I don't know.
Unless they got spooked.
But all around her, there was like... it was scruffle. It was a march, prints, and just it looked like a struggle. Her obviously trying to get out, but she could only move so far, and these marks were like, around her. So I was like, geez. But this was another call, what you're seeing on the screen here. A cat stuck in a sewage lid, and I couldn't make this shit up. So I get there, and again, they send me. I don't know. I'm like the fucking animal rescue. They send there, and what blows my mind is that these construction workers or whatever, I was like, y'all couldn't do this. Like, y'all had to literally call me because now I have to do all this fucking paperwork.
Oh my God! You didn't fuck this kitty, did you?
No. No, not this one.
It's the closest I ever came to getting two pussies at the same time.
I even had to grease it up. But
right.
I tried. So they were like, this dude here was like, I'm not about to fucking cut this lid, man. That's about a fucking $1,500 lid. And I'm like, God damn it. So this chick comes over and she's like, oh my God, she's all like, what do I do? And I'm like, look, do y'all have any axle grease? And if you look, I put axle grease right here around that fucking cat's head. And that's how I got it out. I got my ass chewed from the on-post veterinary lady. She's like, I have to now foster that cat because of you. It's mentally not stable anymore.
Oh, what the fuck? Did the kitty tell her that?
Yeah, like the cat, apparently, I remember when I grabbed the cat, I felt so many things pop. I was like, look, it's either this or you're just going to die in this thing. That was my mentality.
It starved to death, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was
birds will fucking pick at it or pick its fucking eyeballs out.
I greased him up. And I just was like, yeah, here we go. And I tried to grab as much as the neck because I didn't want to like pull this fucking cat's head off.
Right.
And as I'm pulling, it was just like pop, 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 pop. And this cat's like making these weird fucking noises. I know it's hurting this cat. And I was like, I can't, like, I don't want to hurt animals, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck, man.
What's fucking weird is it got in there somehow. And you think
that's what I was thinking. Like what, like just do what you did, cat. But no,
I wonder if you cracked his fucking, if it was just his,
it was like
the cartilage in between his vertebrae that was cracking, like when you crack your knuckles or your spine.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if you were like fracturing this fucking cat's skull.
Dude, I don't know what I did to this cat, but apparently it was never right. Like when I do remember pulling the cat out, and if you look, I got the towel and I'm wiping him off because like this grease fucking, I don't know, it was everywhere.
Right.
I wiped the cat off and like the cat was not right. Like he was just like vertigo shit. The cat was just like
that cat's like that cat was like you coming back from Iraq. Like I seen some shit, man.
Yeah. Put that cat in a fucking nursing home, but yeah, I saved that cat, I guess. But I got my ass chewed by the vet on post. I was like, you motherfucker.
Well, where was she at then? She should have fucking been there.
Yeah, like you should have took fucking call and took it, but. I would say the Army being my third job and being not my last job, but 5 more years I got, and I could say it's been a roller coaster, man. Like because there's so many jobs within this job, and it's like depending on what unit you're in, it's the best one, or if you're in a shitty unit, you're like, God, I can't wait to get out of here.
Right.
So it's
Can you talk about? Go ahead, finish it up.
No, go ahead.
Can you talk about stuff that you've done now as an MP or like?
So what I'm doing now,
like for example, the video like that I saw of you putting a guy down. Like, are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, that was at my old unit.
No, I know, but
yeah, I can talk about it.
And then there's also a car incident between you and another listener of ours.
So
something to do with a car. You pulled a guy out of a car, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up. Cooper's going to come stay with me for a couple weeks while he goes to Benning. He's PCSing, meaning he's changing units. He's going to stay here with me a couple of days. He's like, dude, like, show me how to podcast, man. And he was there
when I'll come down.
The 20th is when he's
of this month.
Yeah, and then you maybe, I mean, if you plan on coming down the dates we talked about, I think he might be leaving just before you get here. But But yeah, he's gonna be here. He was on scene with me with that dude that I pulled out the car at gunpoint.
You didn't fuck that dude, did you?
Oh,
Like-
I wanted to.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, after I found out what he had in the vehicle, like dude pissed me off. But I could tell that story real quick. I mean, some of the listeners
do
may
it.
know, but so Fort Polk, Louisiana, a car that was off post. It was a hit and run. I think he hit 3 or 4 other cars. Somehow made its way on post, but it was like his cousin that was the soldier. So he was a civilian, but he was visiting his cousin, and he was from Wisconsin. The dude that I pulled out of the vehicle. So
that explains a lot.
You're right. So all the off-post police officers that chased this guy on a post obviously called post and was like, "Yo, this motherfucker is crazy. He's hit 4 people." So I'm in my area. I think I was area 1. And I'm listening to this radio, and I'm trying to avoid paperwork to this day because I think I didn't get much sleep. I was just having a rough day. I was like, I'm going to avoid paperwork. I'm staying in my area. They need at least a patrol that's not doing this in case something else pops off. And I'm like, I'm that fucking patrol. I'm going to be that shithead today and be like, oh, I was just waiting for other things, I didn't want to chase this motherfucker. So
I was too busy fucking that deer caught in the goddamn trees.
Did you see that cat?
Right?
You see that cat in the sewer?
We were talking about porn earlier, and there was so much porn out there where the stepmom's stuck in the dryer or stuck trying to grab the shit underneath the couch, and it's
bro.
Yeah, but you're fucking deers that are stuck in trees. But you did it way before it was cool,
Oh yeah, I
you did that shit before people were jerking off to it on the internet.
Before Brazzer or whatever came up with the idea, but
don't act like you don't know how to pronounce that name and you're not on their fucking emailing list.
Brazzer. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching. Well, I'm not watching yet. I'm listening to all this traffic. I got me one of those little shitty sandwiches that that's already pre-made in the the fucking pyramid package.
Oh yeah, from the death wheel we call them.
Yeah, the best shittiest thing for the last minute.
Right.
So I had one of those, and I pulled the bread off, and I was putting cheese Doritos. And I put it in there and eat it. I was like, fuck yes.
My man, right.
So I'm just sitting there chilling, eating, listening to this shit. Everything, the whole post is fucking going crazy. I'm just over here I was like, I've had enough action for the day. So down the road, I see this white SUV, it's 2 miles away. And then it tops the hill and it's fucking MP cars just lit up. And I'm like, oh, fuck, it's coming my way. I was like, no.
So if you don't join the chase, they're going to be like, what the fuck, Marsh?
Yeah, exactly. But I was like,
dude, you don't understand. I just got done peeling the bread. I put my fucking Doritos on it.
I got my Dr. Pepper, and you want to come fuck my shit with this
I was exhausted from fucking this deer.
I had to save a fucking cat. Yeah.
Right.
So
my God.
I see it, and I'm like, I gotta act, I'm not a bitch. Shit's about to go down. All right, motherfuckers, y'all are done fucking around. Let me show you how it's done. So they coming down the intersection. This motherfucker's hauling ass. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this. So I pulled my patrol car in the opposite lane, and he's coming this way, and I'm like, boom, I'm straight up some RoboCop shit, boom, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching this fucking SUV doing fucking 70 towards me, and I'm just I grabbed my wheel and I braced, and all I could think about was percentages through the VA. I was like, I'm about to get fucking paid, So I remember crunching, doing this, and I'm like, and I hear the screeching of the tires. I'm like, fuck, he didn't hit me, so I had to get out of the car. He's no shit, dude. His bumper came a cunt here from fucking hitting my patrol car. But I get out, man, and I'm drawing on this motherfucker, guns out. I blacked out. You ever been so pissed you black out? and
I've been in fist fights before, and then like after the fight is over, I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And then like
Yeah.
the bits and pieces come back. So
Yeah,
I know what
so
you're
like
talking about.
you're in tune on the situation, but it's like you're not there. You know, you're like
Right. Autopilot.
Yeah, and that's what happened. What little bit I remember, I don't remember opening his door, which I had to drag him out. I remember grabbing him here, and I remember when I grabbed him, I was like, "Fuck, I can't grab him by the neck." You know what I mean? And I grabbed him by the shirt. I do remember telling
we can't do that.
yes and no. You know, like
I mean, if you have to, you have to. You know,
my intention was to grab him by the shirt, and I was going to rip him out. So
okay.
I remember pointing the gun all the way to his face. I don't remember opening the door, and when he's like, I remember him going like this, and then I put my gun away, and it was like I picked this dude up out of his seat sitting down, and like I grabbed him and was like, ugh, you know. Now, mind you, I'm doing this, and my backup and MPs are still like, I was like, you motherfuckers. So I've already got this dude out of the fucking his truck while they're just like, oh, look, I guess I'll show up. So I pull him out, like I remember dragging him when I pulled him, handcuffed him, said a few choice words when I pulled him out, because I watched the video, the body cam. I actually had to sit on a board because I used a force board. I had to like come off the road for a little bit. Drug him out, put him on the curb, cussed him out. The adrenaline is still going, and Cooper is already there. He was like the second one on scene. And I remember walking by this dude's SUV after I set him on the curb over here to go back to my car coming around, and I hear Cooper talking, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I go over to Cooper, and I thought he was just talking to himself. I was like, dude, what's going on? And he did like that, and it was a 2-year-old, I think it's like a 2 or 3-year-old in a fucking car seat in the middle in the back, dude. I was like, dude, I saw red.
Dude, so, good thing that like your car.
Could you imagine had I shot? Could you imagine if I shot him if he wasn't stopping and I hit that kid, man?
Well, right, but I didn't even. Yeah. I was gonna think that, but I'm like, no, you wouldn't shoot him because you didn't have a reason to or whatever. But like, if you guys crashed or something, even
I would have shot at him had he kept coming.
Well, right.
You know, I didn't know there was a kid in there. My life was in danger.
Fuck, right,
dude.
I get it.
When I realized there was a crying baby, because I didn't remember.
So Cooper found out there was a fucking 2-year-old kid in the back.
Yeah, he was like, bro, there's a fucking kid in here. I was like, so I went back over to where he was sitting on the curb.
I'm gonna fuck this guy. I wasn't gonna fuck you before because I'm tired of fucking that deer, but you're getting fucked today.
Yeah, you think the deer had it bad?
You see what I fucking did to that deer's shoulder? That wasn't a wound. That's from my cock.
He went all the way up to the shoulder.
You ever heard the term, I'm going to fuck you a new asshole? Or I'm going to tear you a new asshole? I wrote the book on tearing new assholes. Go look at that deer 45 yards away. I just fucked the shit out of its shoulder blade. And he didn't even do anything.
He just sat there.
I was just horny. But I'm going to fuck this shit out of you. Oh, my fucking God.
You better get fucked by the long dick of the law.
Exactly.
So he pissed me off. I saw red again. I fucking remember picking him up. I got in his face kind of, and I was just like, choice of words, motherfucker's a fucking kid, and I picked him up, put him in the back of the vehicle. I don't remember doing that because, again, I blacked out because I was like, dude,
pissed.
I could have killed a kid because of you, motherfucker. You know what I mean? So put him in the back of the vehicle. I ended up taking him back to the station. 4 hours into this paperwork, this motherfucker's behind me still in handcuffs. And my soldier, which was on the road that day, I'm sitting there just typing away, and this dude is like, yo, where's that motherfucker that fucking scratched up my Jordans? So all he worried about was his Jordans, dude. I was like, I turned around and I was like, well, I'm right here. if you got something to say, you know, I'm right here. I'm the one that got you out. And he's like, oh yeah, never mind. I was like, yeah. I was like, you're worried about fucking me scratching your Jordans up, and it was his nephew. I was like, your 3-year-old fucking nephew. You just ran through hell and back. Like, dude, I'm done with you. You're dead to me.
So who was he visiting on post?
His cousin.
His brother? His cousin.
It's like his cousin or something.
But he had his nephew in the back seat.
I don't know
drugs or drunk?
I don't know what the relationship. I just know that was his kinfolk.
A kid, yeah, that's all that matters.
I said nephew because I clicked. I was like, oh, is that your nephew?
So what was why were you guys chasing him in the first place? What the fuck?
So he hit like 4 or 5
cars. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, he hit,
now come to find out he had a warrant out of Wisconsin for burglary with a weapon, drug dealing, and possession of narcotics or something. But it was the warrants out of Wisconsin.
So they saw him, ran the plates. Oh, let's get this guy, and then chase started. Then he started crashing.
Yeah, well, he was down visiting. He took his cousin's fucking vehicle off post. Hit a couple of people. Tried to come back on post. You know, local law enforcement called ahead and was like, yo, this dude's on post. So we chased him. You know, he didn't know how to get off post because he'd only been there once. He only knew how to get on. But yeah, I ended up I fucking hammered him with all kinds of charges. And then when I was done with him, Vernon Parish, which is the off post police, they fucking came and got him and charged him, and then he's extradited back to Wisconsin. Apparently, I still haven't been to court on that, dude. Like, I don't know what the deal is. Typically, you're supposed to like go back to wherever it happened. You're supposed to go to court, but I have yet to be summoned to court for that. Maybe they settled out. I don't know, but
did you ever find out about that piece of shit that shot up the bowling alley by my house? Am I allowed to fucking ask you about that?
I did not. No, I keep forgetting, dude. You got to remind me.
Okay.
I keep forgetting. But that was one of them. Cooper was there. I can't find that. I don't know if I still got that video. I got an actual video of me slamming somebody. I saw the video of you pulling a guy out of a house and dropping him to his knees and then to his face. And didn't he try killing his family or something? He put a gun up to 2 of his kids and his wife. He made his 2 kids get on their knees. The dude, I guess, was having trouble. He got back from Afghanistan, but
wasn't he a ranger or something, or no?
No, he was an infantry. He was in 10th Mountain Infantry, but
I hear a lot of Rangers come back and kill their wives. Like, they fucking catch their wives cheating and then they fucking snap and fucking kill them.
Yeah, that's typical Army shit. You know, I say that, but it does happen a lot. A lot of people don't hear about it.
It's like super duper bad if you cheat with another person in the Army, right? Like, isn't that like a big fucking deal? Like,
so like infidelity in the Army. So if I was to do it and I was caught cheating on my wife and they had picture and hard proof evidence, then they held me accountable under the UCMJ, which is Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's what we fall under. It's our law. And dude, like some of the shit in the UCMJ, like we can't have sex in the missionary position, like stupid fucking laws. But that's one of them.
Sounds more like a religion than a fucking law.
I don't know, dude.
Strange.
But
are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
There's laws in the Army that you can't have sex with your wife in the missionary position.
Yeah. Now I don't know if they've.
How are you supposed to? I mean, I know there's multiple ways to have sex with your wife, but I don't understand. What the fuck do you? That's weird.
I can tell you.
Is it one of those laws they just haven't changed?
I think it's
like in some states you can marry a fucking cow if the cow's 180 days old.
Well, it's one of those
Tuesday and it's not raining. Like, there's fucking laws like that, but.
It's one of those stupid fucking things that was probably written from a group of people that were drunk, and they fucking put this stupid shit.
And like back in World War -3,
they never changed it.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Adultery will get you fucked up, big time. Now it doesn't account for the spouse. Spouse can cheat on you all day long. She's not held accountable under the UCMJ, but
fucking whores.
but yeah, that can get you demoted. It can get you, fucked up,
I've heard of like
dishonorable.
if you're a soldier and you fuck another soldier's wife, like you're fucking done. Like you'll get
Yeah,
dishonorable discharge.
yeah, and it's pretty brutal, and it happens all the time in the army. I mean, people do that shit.
So tell the story about you pulling this piece of shit out of his house because he fucking held his fucking wife and kids at gunpoint, and you fucking pulled them out of the house and body slammed them. Because I saw the
Yes.
video of this one, and I was like, yeah, that shit was gangster.
Dude was tall too. I again fucking didn't want no shit happening. I just got put back on the road from the last incident. I was like, yeah, I was clear. I was, use of force. He was clear. He did the right thing, So they put me back on the road because that's just what they do. You get in an incident, they got to investigate it. They got to make sure you were in the right and all this bullshit.
Right. And I'm glad they do that.
Yeah, and it keeps us accountable for like.
Right.
I did everything by the book. The only thing I got in trouble for is I probably should have watched my language. But in the heat of the moment, like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was
the
my
least.
thing.
That's the least of the worries.
And it was fucking stupid. But I got back on the road. And again, I'm fucking minding my own business. And I was patrol soup that day, and this happened in Area 1, and I just so happened to be in Area 4, which is like 5 miles of fucking way. Call comes through, hey, individual is holding a gun to his children's head and wife. We need all patrols on deck. Like, everybody needs to go. Like, this is like no shit.
And this is on base, right?
Yeah, this is on post. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, I'm hauling ass. I beat Area 2. This happened in Area 1. I beat Area 2 and 3. And I was all the way in like 4. But Area 1 beat me to it. And I get there. He's by his car. I didn't see no weapon. And the specialist MP was just like talking to him, like, hey, calm down. In the camera, I know some of the footage you can't see it, but I pull up because his camera caught me pulling the fuck up. I pull up and I waste no time of getting out. And it was Chin, Specialist Chin is who it was. And Chin's like, all right, just everything, he's just trying to like talk this dude. And like, I grab this motherfucker because I'm already seeing red. I'm like, I'm at the same time, I'm like, why the fuck is this dude?
Like, this is the second time this week I just got done putting chips on a sandwich.
Yeah,
and now I gotta fuck this guy too. Like, my dick is sore. Yeah, my belly is empty and my dick is sore.
I just want to eat this fucking chips, man. But I remember
I only joined the army because I heard I give free haircuts, and you guys got me fucking deers and shit.
So I remember I fucking Chin and pushed him out of the way. I grab this motherfucker, handcuff him, I put him on the ground. I'm at this point I'm into like supervisor mode. I'm like, Chin, search the fucking car. I'm yelling at the soldier, like, where the fuck's the pistol? Wife comes out, she's all crying. I direct the wife to take the 2 kids over by Area 3's patrol car because the ambulance has showed the fuck up because I got the guys in handcuffs. Typically EMS and the ambulance won't fuck with you until the situation is like, okay. So they'll generally like wait a block away and be like, all right, until you get this shit handled, we're not showing up on scene. So I had already radioed in. I got him in handcuffs. They pull up. They evaluate the kids and the wife. I pull the fucking, I think it was like was it a 9 mil? I can't remember. It was like where he was like standing against the car. He could have easily like took 2 steps and reached under and grabbed the pistol and shot everybody. So I find it, I fucking rack it. There's fucking round comes out of the chamber. I'm like, shit. Like, this dude like had one chambered. Like, fuck.
He was ready to go. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, all it took was a squeeze. I'm like, this motherfucker. So I unrack it. Chin's picking him up. I'm like, no, fuck this. I'm taking him to my car. Like, this is my fish. I caught it. I'm gonna fucking clean. Just for the simple fact he fucking pissed me off, and I really wanted to hammer this kid on everything because fucking with kids,
Right.
I'm taking him to my my patrol car, and in the video you watched, he's like, and like he's taller than me, so like his elbow could hit me in my fucking mouth. That's how tall this dude was. And he did like that with his hand behind his back. He did like that, and it hit me. Like I grabbed this dude, and like you see in the video, I was like, wham. And I only did that to gain
on
more
his
control.
fucking face.
Yeah, and the reason I did that, everybody's like, police brutality. I had to gain control again because when he elbowed me, dude, I was hurting for like 2 weeks because I swear he probably cracked my rib, But I was in the heat of the moment. I was like, oh, you motherfucker! But the minute
he assaulted you, dude, straight up. Let's be honest.
I mean, pretty much the elbow into the ribs, pissed me off.
That's assault, dude.
Grabbed him, put him back on his face, and he was pretty fucking strong, dude. He was in handcuffs. He was like picking me up, like I'm like on top of him. I was like, holy shit. Chin comes over. We ended up like picking that dude up, like 4 of us, and just fucking like a fucking hog-tied fucking cow or hog. Put him in there. 2 weeks later, this dude ends up like barricading himself in the house with a knife. They took his gun away. Wife and kids are like gone, but they're calling like, hey,
for like a welfare check type thing.
Yeah, he's going off the rocker again. So I was actually pulled from the road because of the last incident with him. But my soldier, Frost, he went to that call, and they were like, yeah, this dude jumped out of a 2-story building and hit the woods. And like he barricaded his room. Like, I don't know, dude.
So he didn't get kicked out of the army after that incident? He was still on post?
He went to behavior health. He was actually on his way to getting more help, but I don't know. I think the unit probably should have took him to the barracks and watched him.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do they?
That was on the unit.
They don't treat mental health very well in the military, right?
It could be better, but the unit didn't take him watching. But again, we were out there within 2 weeks.
Now, was this dude a veteran? Like he was deployed? So
he just got back from Afghanistan.
Okay, so
and apparently it was a rough one, but I've had rough shit, but I've never once pulled a gun on my fucking kids. So I don't want to hear your fucking bullshit excuse for being fucked up. That's just me. I'm not piss people off saying that, but nobody does, especially them kids, man. 2 little beautiful girls, man. Just seeing them and fucking this motherfucker. I don't know.
But no, I'm right there with you, and I don't care what anyone says. People can say like, "Oh, that we fucking cracked too many O.J. Simpson jokes or fucking whatever," but like, no, don't fuck with kids.
Yeah.
I don't. You don't. There's no excuse for it, Pete. I got nothing but respect for veterans, and I understand PTSD is a very fucking powerful thing, and it can change you. And but there's help out there for everybody, veteran or not, and even fucking pedophiles. There's help out there. Like there's fucking people before they offend. They're like, oh my God, I'm attracted to children, and they know it's fucked up, so they can seek help.
Yeah,
and like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they're like, hey, don't fuck kids, and they go to counseling and therapy and all kinds of shit can be done before they offend, before they fucking actually do it.
Right.
And like me, dude, when I wanted to fucking be a serial killer when I was a teenager, and mom and dad saw signs and they got me help that I needed, as a teenager. So I wasn't fucking
crazy.
Yeah. Active shooter shit in high school. You know what I mean? Because that's what I wanted to do as a kid. I was fucked up. And so there's help out there for everyone, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Just fucking seek it. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, don't apologize for that shit because kids are off limits. Don't fuck with the kids, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's what I saw, man. Like anything that involves kids in this line of work, doing any type of law enforcement, it's hard. And I've had a couple incidents with some calls with kids. It's a different monster. You see an adult, and it's like, it's an adult, But the minute you see a kid suffering or something bad happens, it's like, fuck, man.
I know a buddy who
it's home,
Yeah, I know a buddy that arrived on a call or whatever, and there was like a little kid that fucking stepped into the in-ground pool, And like this guy just fucking worked on him and worked on him, and everyone's like, dude, he's gone. Like, stop.
Yeah.
And he's like, fuck you. And he's like, he worked on this little tiny boy, like could barely just learn how to walk, you know. Fucking, I think parent fell asleep, like taking a nap or whatever, and the fucking sliding back door was like unlocked or whatever, and the kid just fucking stepped into the pool. He didn't fucking know, you know what I mean?
No, I know, and that's
But
the thing
imagine
with
how
kids,
that fucking
man.
parent feels.
They're fearless, and that's as a parent, man. You got a kid like you seen Bentley jumping backwards and doing a flip.
I saw that today. I was like,
Dude,
I wouldn't do that at 35,
no.
little motherfucker.
Fuck no. Like I didn't teach him that either. Like he's like, Dad. I was like,
he's like,
no.
you're like, let me see your balls. I don't believe you're my son.
Yeah.
You got a bigger balls.
But
doing
yeah, that's
backflips and shit.
you know, kids are fearless, and you gotta watch it, man. Like they'll put you on your feet
for sure.
But yeah, I would say,
and if you don't watch it, Audie will put you on your face.
Yeah, have you seen my videos?
Right.
I wish I could find it. I would play it real quick. Let me just see if I could find it. Hang on. Let me see.
It's definitely in our messenger chat because you sent it to me. Because it was like when we first started talking. It was probably like around the middle. How long have we been friends? 6 years?
Yeah, it's been
something like that.
5, 6.
Dude, I can only imagine the shit that's in our fucking messenger. Oh my God. Like, there's got to be some fucked up shit in there. I'm glad that you're the only person on the planet that knows my Facebook password and shit. I mean, not because I have anything to hide from my wife or anything. It's just like we fucking say some fucking goofy things, you know?
There's some fucked up shit in there.
That was mostly for like comic relief, not to be creepy and eerie, but
no, I can't find it.
You know what? Let's find it and put it on the Patreon. So if you want to watch videos of Audie Marsh kicking the shit out of criminals, arresting criminals, donate $5 a month to our Patreon. We'll put the link in the comments section or in the description section or whatever. Audie will take care of that. Give us $5 a month for Patreon, and you get all of our backstage shit, all of our fuck ups. We got some hilarious videos of us trying to make promos.
I
that
still
are fucking hilarious.
I gotta get that up, man. That's some good shit, dude.
We got merch for you guys if you donate $5 a month to our Patreon. For example, our t-shirts are $10, right? So if you donate $5 to our Patreon for 3 months, we'll send you a t-shirt because that's $15. 10 for the shirt, 5 for the shipping. So please donate to our Patreon. And speaking of that, let's give a shout out to our patrons and producers. And then you want to end the show or what?
Yeah, we can end it.
Because I got to piss like a motherfucker. This is a really fun conversation. You know what? Like, let's end this episode so we can upload it. I'm going to go piss. And then, I mean, if we want, we can always hop back on and do like a fun one, or we can do the Patreon thing, whatever. But,
it doesn't matter. I mean, we can do whatever we want.
But yeah, please donate to our Patreon. I'm not going to say it enough because speaking of jobs, I wish, you know what? Let's do that. Speaking of one of the questions I was telling you before we went live here is I want to know what your fantasy job was.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I kind of wish it was being a podcaster. My first, even though I'm terrible at it, my first job I wanted to be as a kid, I wanted to be a professional wrestler, WWF. And my dad was like, "You're not big enough." You know, and I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Dick." And then,
thanks, Dick.
Yeah, fucking asshole. And then I'm like, "Well, I want to go to college for creative writing." And he's like, "Well, how are you going to get a job afterwards?" And I'm like, "Thanks, Dick." Like, dude, I'm a fucking pretty creative guy. Like, if you ever fucking bought a VHS tape or a DVD and you read the back, and the back of the VHS tape tells you what the movie's about, but there's all these clever little puns, I could be that guy. I could watch fucking Titanic and then break the movie down into one paragraph and have quirky little puns and shit. That's me. Or I would love to be a stunt man. I thought that would, 10 years ago and 40 pounds ago, I would have loved to have been a stunt man. And I told that to my wife the other day, and she's like, "You fucking grown standing up from the couch. You want to fucking get thrown downstairs?" I'm like, "Thanks, Dick. Like, you remind me of my father."
Oh, my poor goddamn spine.
Right here.
I didn't hear it.
I heard it. Whatever. Maybe the audience will hear it. So, patrons, supporters, and producers, number one, big shout out to our executive producer, Ben Newman. And then our producers, Chandra Daler, Ryan Merriman, Brent Kopaka, Tara Myers, Paul Tonkovich, John Bailey. Thank you all, veterans, for your service. Thank you all, loyal listeners and unloyal listeners, whatever. We appreciate you guys so much. Ryan suggests prank phone calls again. Audie has to upload that episode because there's just too much fucking dead air. He's got to edit it and things like that.
Yeah,
Always wanted to be a SWAT officer. My son wants to be a cop.
Kyle Vindy. Oh, that's from Twitch.
You
That's
just
pretty
put
cool.
us on Twitch, didn't you?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
so it's working. We're getting
what's up,
getting
Kyle?
viewers from Twitch. Thank you for watching.
Hell yeah.
Kyle in the CV. I wonder if that's my neighbor.
I don't know.
My old neighbor Kyle. It says Kyle in the CV. I'm wondering if the CV stands for Cherry Valley. Kyle, is that you? I wonder if that's my old neighbor.
Is it Kyle Levin? Kyle Levin? Or is it Kyle V? Calvin? Calvin?
Oh, I guess I didn't see the V. Whatever. I guess
he
it's not
said
him.
yes.
It is my neighbor Kyle. Awesome. What's up, Kyle? Thank you for watching. Ryan asked if Audie bought the goat. No, he just fucked it. He just fucked it.
No,
All right. So, what do you want to do? You want to get out of here? We're at an hour and a half.
Yeah, we can, man. You want to come back, or what do you want to do, man? I'm feeling a little.
I want to take a piss, is what I want to do, and I don't care. We can keep going, but I think for Spotify's sake, like just the last 4 minutes alone is bullshit. No one wants to hear the last 4 minutes.
End this if you want to come back on, and I'm down, dude. I don't give a shit, man. We'll
All
come
right,
back
well
on
then-
just bullshit.
All right, end this, slap it on the Spotify, whatever, and then
Yep.
we can do another episode, and if it's good, we'll post that on the internet too. Let me go piss, and we'll come back, man.
All right,
Thank
man.
you guys for watching.
Thank you for tuning in to our little Passion Project podcast. Remember, we go live every single Friday night, same damn time, same damn channel. So if you miss it, don't blame us.